Wassup YouTube, PokePrimer here, ready to deliver you our team builder for week 7 of Fella. This week we get our long-awaited rematch with Tobikuma and the Alexandria Altarias. Now I have been seething over that week 1 defeat all season long, and it has bothered me since day 1, and I am here for revenge, 100%. I want the revenge that I rightfully believe I deserve. And knowing my mistakes from the last time, I am not going to make those again. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Toby's team has not changed at all. He has not made any free agency trades, which I respect. You know, he's taken this team all the way through the season, which is really, really cool. I like to see that. But it doesn't mean I'm going to take it easy on him at all. And I will take all the advantage out of my newest team members to defeat him. So, without further ado, for those of you who don't know what Toby's team is, his team consists of Megapincer, Togekiss, Umbreon, Tentacruel, Victini, Serperior, Dugtrio, Volbeat, Machamp, Steelix, Gourgeist, and Raticate. Now, the last time he faced us, he brought with him Umbreon, Tentacruel, Victini, Dugtrio, Machamp, and Steelix. I believe, if anything, he's going to bring something very, very similar to that. If there's any changes, maybe he'll bring Megapincer over potentially bringing, maybe he'll bring Megapincer over Tentacruel, or maybe he'll bring Megapincer over something else. I don't know. But I feel like overall that's the lineup that he'll go with against me, just because that lineup works better against my team than any other lineup he potentially could bring. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We learned a lot of things in the last match. Terrakion 100% every time will OHKO his Mega Umbreon, or his regular Umbreon. I don't know why I said Mega Umbreon. Whatever. He did bring Special Victini last time, so I will have to watch out for that. And if he does bring it again, we have plenty of adequate checks to handle it. Dugtrio was his lead last time, his lead to set up rocks, and that screwed us a lot because we did bring Drapion last time and lead with it, and then Drapion got absolutely decimated by a couple of earthquakes, so that's the problem. Steelix was also a big issue last time, as we had Dodrio and a couple other things that just couldn't do adequate damage to his Steelix. That it took a lot in sacrificing like 2 Mons to whittle it down, and that wasn't a good thing. We can't afford to do that this time. It is also due to lack of adequate coverage on our Latios set, so we need to make sure that that's not a problem this time, which I think I've handled appropriately. So without further ado, let's get into the team that we're actually going to be bringing. The first mod we're bringing, we didn't bring the last time. About half this team's the same, half this team is different. I feel like the changes I made from last time will definitely be better overall for us, just because A, we don't have Dodrio, so that's not like a huge crutch. We didn't bring Drapion, which he has so many things that check Drapion. I don't know why I brought it in the first place. I think it was literally only for the Togekiss. And potentially, no, I brought it as a check to Superior, which at the end of the day is not a great check to Superior, but still, it was something. But overall, I'm not really sure why I brought what I did last time. It was a couple of bad decisions on my part, but you know what? You live and you learn. I'm happy with what I built for this time around, so we're going to see what happens. The first mod we're bringing is Old Faithful, the Volcanion. Rocking an Assault Vest because, let's be real, the Assault Vested set is just too good. It's too good because his second lowest, one of his lowest stats is his Spadef. I mean, he doesn't need the speed necessarily. He's very, very bulky with base 120 defense. He's very, very bulky overall, so he doesn't have to worry too much about, you know, getting OHKO'd. It's very, very hard to OHKO a Volcanion from full, so that's pretty much why I like to run the Assault Vest set the most. It works very, very nicely. It's kind of like how Hoopa is. You know, you kind of like to run Assault Vest Hoopa because its special defense is through the frickin' roof. If there was an Assault Vest variant for physical defense, which I think there should be, but it would make mons like Gudra and Hoopas shoot right to Ubers in my personal opinion, but still, I think it'd be absolutely amazing. Game Freak, please watch this video and learn from it. Anyway, without rambling on, Assault Vest Volcanion, same standards that I've been running, 8 SPDF, max special attack with a modest nature, 248 HP. The moveset is Flamethrower, Earth Power, Focus Blast, and Flash Cannon. First of all, first thing to note, I'm not bringing Steam Eruption. Why? Well, if we look at his 2 water weaknesses, being Dugtrio and Steelix, Dugtrio I can kill with just about anything, and I don't plan on facing Dugtrio with Volcanion at all. So that leaves just Steelix, and I'm also part Fire type, so I'm not going to waste my time running a water move that could potentially be blocked by a Tentacruel or blocked by something else that could come in and eat hits from us a lot better, and, you know, waste my move. So I'd rather bring just the Flamethrower for the coverage on the Steelix. He has a very big fire weakness. Mega Pinsir, Superior, Volbeat, Steelix, and Gourgeist. 5 mons weak to fire, so having Flamethrower, I made sure to calc all of the above and to see how much it did, and I made sure that it was at least adequately a 2-hit KO. Most of them is a 1-shot, but I believe if he brings specially defensive Steelix, it is a 2-hit KO, which isn't that big of a deal, but you know, it's something to note. Earth Power is there as a backup plan for a lot of things. I like to have my backup plans, and the Tentacruel as well. He did bring a physically defensive Tentacruel last time, so bringing Earth Power is mainly so I can hit that thing on the special side, just in case he brings the same set again. Also, this makes it so the Victini can't switch in on me, although I don't think it would, just because of the simple fact that I potentially could be carrying like a heavy, powerful water stab. So that's a potential option that could happen. Focus Blast is there because I wanted another side thing. He also has a lot of mons weak to fighting. This is my only way on this set to kind of hit Umbreon for half decent damage. This will also Oko the Eradicate, which is really nice. And then lastly, we have Flash Cannon, just in case he decides to bring the Togekiss. I wanted to be able to hit the Togekiss, and especially defensive Togekiss can eat hits from us normally if we're not packing Flash Cannon. So that's the whole mindset behind this set. Next up is going to be Kardashian or Jinx, rocking a Focus Sash with Dry Skin. This thing's basically meant to come in, potentially outspeed something, hit it hard, get back out. Hopefully he doesn't set up rocks. If he sets up rocks, we're kind of screwed. If we don't outspeed something, we're probably not going to kill it. If we do have the chance to kill something, that's great. I really kind of hope we do, but not holding out all that much hope. But we're rocking 240 speed. That speed investment allows us to outspeed. Let's see, what are we hitting? 285. What was the thing that I was trying to outspeed with this set? I believe I wanted to outspeed. Where is it? Oh, max speed Togekiss. Yeah, I outspeed max speed Togekiss, so then I can outspeed that thing, hit it with an Ice Beam, and that's gonna hurt because it's a modest Ice Beam coming his way. We have Psychic on there because I didn't have all that much coverage for the Machamp last time. That's the only reason I brought Dodrio last time, is because I didn't have anything for the Machamp. Now I have things to handle it, so Psychic is there so that we can hit the Machamp really, really hard. Focus Blast is for things like the Steelix, which would potentially switch in on me if it's especially defensive. Focus Blast will do a massive amount of damage to it if it actually hits. And Hidden Power Rock is there for the Pinsir. Basically, the situation I'm thinking of in my head is if Mega Pinsir is out there and causing mayhem and mass destruction, I have the potential to bring Jinx in on a free switch if the Pinsir gets a kill, and fire off an HP Rock and blow the Pinsir out of the water. I'll live because of Focus Sash and then be able to take it out, which is pretty much essential because Mega Pinsir is a really big problem. I mean, I outspeed it with a lot of things, and quick attacks won't knock out some of my mons, so I'm not too worried about it, but at the same time, it's still a monster. It's still an absolute threat, and I can't be I have to be cautious about it, because It is just that scary. So that's the whole process with Jinx. That's the whole thought process. Very standard Jinx set. Hopefully it'll do something. Next up, we have Oh Boy the Jolteon bringing a Life Orb set like last time. The first of the returning members from last time, pretty much bringing a similar set, except I did recently, I put on Magnet Rise, because Magnet Rise is very, very useful to us because of the fact that Magnet Rise is useful because... What was my mindset with Magnet Rise? Magnet Rise is useful because we'll outspeed the Dugtrio. If that situation somehow comes to pass, we outspeed Dugtrio, we can get a Magnet Rise off, he can't Earthquake us. That's step 1. Step 2 also is for the Steelix as well. It can't Earthquake us if we get a Magnet Rise up right in front of it. We have Hidden Power Water as well, so that we can hit things like the Dugtrio and the Steelix super effectively, as well as the Victini if we end up in a 1v1 situation. Volt Switch and Thunderbolt are staples on Jolteon's moveset 100% of the time. That just kind of goes without saying. If I can eliminate Toby's ground types, I can freely come in and Volt Switch or Thunderbolt anything in front of me without any form of real downside to it. So that's really, really nice. With that speed investment, with 176 in Timid Nature, I do outspeed everything on his team, barring a Scarfer. I made sure this specifically outspeeds Dugtrio by 2 points, so it's really, really, really nice to have. Obviously, we went max special attack, and then we put 80 into HP just for a little bit of bulk. Nothing too spectacular. Next up, we have Tucson the Terrakion, rocking a Choice Scarf once again, just like last time, with 64 HP, max attack, and 192 speed with a Jolly Nature. This 192 speed allows us to outspeed Toby's base 100s if they're at max speed. He's got Tentacruel, he's got Victini, they could potentially be very, very speedy. This is pretty much all the speed I actually need, because anything that's faster is obviously going to outspeed us if it's Scarfed. But, obviously since we're Scarfed, we can outspeed things like Superior and Dugtrio and whatnot. Even though I won't put myself in that situation, because unless I'm guaranteeing the fact that I can kill, I'm not going to risk that kind of stuff, just because I'm not a silly fool. I'm not going to waste, I'm not going to waste a perfectly good Terrakion if I can't guarantee it will get a kill. So, moveset. We have Close Combat, Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Zen Headbutt. Zen Headbutt is on here 100% due to him having Machamp. I'm literally, the only reason I'm putting it on here is because of Machamp. Stone Edge is for the Victini and the Togekiss, and the Mega Pinsir will outspeed all of them and hit them really, really hard with Stone Edge. Should OHKO them, I believe. If it doesn't OHKO Victini, I'd be really shocked, but I'm pretty sure it OHKOs Victini. Earthquake is a secondary option for also to hit things like Tentacruel and Steelix if I really wanted to, but if I were against Steelix, I would click Close Combat, which does the most damage. Close Combat is also there for the Umbreon, because we know that Close Combat from Terrakion OHKOs Umbreon. So that's absolutely necessary to have. Very, very, very simple, very, very straightforward Terrakion set. Nothing too spectacular on this one, but it definitely has everything that I need to potentially put in a lot of work on Toby's team. And certainly I will not make the same mistakes I did last time, and make sure that I have things to switch out to so I can get Terrakion back in and change my moves up so I don't get locked into close combat against a Psychic type and a Poison type. The next mon we're bringing is our second Assault Vest user, because you guys know I love running dual Assault Vest. I love it. Sometimes it catches people off guard. We've got 248 HP, max attack, adamant natured, with 8 into special defense to boost that Assault Vest a little bit more. Jura the Regirock. Regirock is going to put in so much work on my opponent's team. First of all, having a mon with base 200 defense against a team with Mega Pinsir on it is absolutely crazy. Mega Pinsir cannot touch us in any universe. He cannot touch us at all. He bears no form of threat to our Regirock. Even at +2, he can't threaten us. So that's really, really nice. Other things like Umbreon, Victini if it's physical, Dugtrio, none of these things threaten Regirock in any fashion. And now holding an Assault Vest, the rest of his team can't touch it either. If you bring Special Victini, nothing will hurt it. Focus Blast won't even do like 35%. Like I think it does like 35% max if he runs Focus Blast. All of his other moves are either resisted or just don't do a lot of necessary damage. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what he thinks he's going to be able to do against that once I put it on the field. If it even gets a chance to play, I mean, you never know. It could be a blowout. You never know. And yeah, I feel like I prepped a lot better this time for the match, but regardless, you know, it's still going to be a good match. But yeah, Jura is rocking a powerful Stone Edge, Earthquake, Drain Punch, and Ice Punch. Stone Edge and Earthquake are the two main moves that are probably almost always going to be on Jura, just because the Stonequake move core on a Pokemon is just too good for coverage purposes. It hits so many things so hard. Pretty much does between these two moves, I can do neutral damage to pretty much everything on his team. Also, pretty much like OHKOing the Victini. Pretty much almost OHKOing a physically defensive Tentacruel. You know, a lot of big damage coming out of Jura here. Also, with Drain Punch and Ice Punch. Ice Punch is there, so we have something for the Superior. This thing can take a Leaf Storm from his Superior and hit it back really hard with the Ice Punch. I could also hit it with a Drain Punch potentially as well, and get all of my HP back. You can also hit things like Steelix with Drain Punches and Eradicate with Drain Punches and just get HP for days. I can also stall Umbreon out with Drain Punches as well, because I do a decent amount with Drain Punch. It's not too spectacular, but I do a decent amount with Drain Punch. If Regirock was part fighting, it'd be even better, but regardless, you know, Drain Punch is still a fantastic move to have on there, and it does so much work against my opponent's team this week. So this Regirock is like my pride and joy this week. I'm super excited to use it. The last one we're bringing is the last returning member from the original squad. It is going to be our physically defensive Latios Onisan, holding the leftovers. Now, we did bring Fizdef Latios last time, but we only ran Psyshock because it's all we thought we needed. We pretty much brought it more or less just for the Tentacruel. That was a terrible... Well, we brought it for the Tentacruel and the Machamp, but that was a terrible mistake. We ran Defog, but we didn't really need Defog. We didn't need Defog, and we wasted Defog in the match as well. We played terribly with it last time, and I figured this time, if he gets Rocks up, the only Mons on my team that really kind of hurts are Volcanion and Jinx. The rest of my Mons don't worry too heavily about Stealth Rocks, and I'm not too worried about it, so I'm leaving it go. So obviously we're bringing the Psyshock because we need to hit the Machamp super effectively. This will also hit the Tentacruel super effectively, so if he's specially defensive, Psyshock's going to do a decent amount of damage to it. And, you know, it's good for stab. I didn't feel the need to bring a Dragon-type stab because he does have a Togekiss that he could bring that could shut this thing down really quickly if I brought something like Draco Meteor. And also, he has a Steelix. He has, you know, things that resist the dragon right there. So I don't want to bring something like that he can hit us with. This time I brought Surf because Steelix walled us last time. So having the Surf this time allows us to hit the Steelix for very big damage. Even though we're not offensive, Surf still does a lot to Steelix. So we have the potential to potentially 2-hit KO, even if not 3-hit KO the Steelix, and the Steelix cannot 3-hit KO us at all. So that's really nice. We are also packing the Recover so that we can heal up against other opponents. And lastly, we are packing the Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is really, really good this week because some of his physical threats are very, very quick. He's got Victini, he's got Tentacruel, he's got Mega Pinsir. You know, a lot of these mons are really, really fast. If I can get a Thunder Wave off on some of them, it'd be really, really great to slow them down and allow Latios to recover against them and get off some really, really big damage and whittle them all down to pretty much nothing. So that is going to be the team for Week 7. If you guys ever enjoyed this team builder, please make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, guys, I'm PokePrimer.